So good morning, good evening, good afternoon. Welcome to another scene for the living world of darkness, rage across New York. And unlike the previous backdated scene, this one will be set in the here and now. Fabulous. Where we are setting at the Seeker's Pack House, which is out in the city. I want to say it was in southern Manhattan. And yeah, where most of the Seekers are inside.
It's in southern Manhattan. You're correct.
Yay! And yeah, where most of the Seekers are in. I imagine that 10 Point is in the process of plying her alpha with hot tea because it is cold outside, and has probably hunkered down next to wherever the hell he is because that's how needy she is. We won't pretend she's not. When there is, I presume, a knock at the door.
Not so much a knock, but just the sound of someone walking up onto the porch, and there's a pause, and Dallas takes a breath, looks at the door. She looks at the key in her hand, and then puts it back into her pocket. And she goes over to the swing and sits down on it, and rests her bag there, kind of pulls her legs up onto it, and lights a cigarette. And she looks out at sort of the areas of the street that are still snow-covered. It's Manhattan, so there's not a lot of snow-covered places because, well, let's face it, there's just really sidewalk and not a lot of green. So she just kind of looks out at the street and kind of leans back, and as she sits there and brings the cigarette up to her lips, she looks at her hand and notices that it's shaking and frowns at it.
Is she in any way making it known besides the footsteps that she's home?
I mean, aside from that and the fact that just the general closeness of the pack lane,
Okay.
if anyone's not walled off, yeah. I mean, she's there.
Yeah, 10 Point is almost never, and will be, by now, just kind of looking in the direction of the door, glancing to either Raya.
Look up. Mid probably reading something. Cigarette smoke goes in his nose.
Take a breath. I'll go out there.
You sure?
Ira.
Alright, Beta, go on.
She gets up and she goes and puts her shoe and grabs her coat. And, key. Oh. And she'll go outside. She'll stand there. It's a bit nippy out here, isn't it?
Yeah, but I've been walking around the Sept all day, so kind of gotten used to it now. Lived in this part of the world for most of my life, so it's what it is. Being a guardian, I gotta be out in this. Hot packs, hand warmers. And she'll kind of reach into one of her sleeves and pull out this little, like, white pouch. Looks like it's got like gravel in it. She kind of flips it back and forth and then sticks it back in. And she looks down
So-
at her hand and grimaces at it as it's still kind of shaking.
She'll notice that Saoirse's demeanor is a tad bit distant. You know Banshee's gone, right?
I didn't catch all that.
Right?
Yeah, I know. I felt the same as everyone. You all, you all did your thing in there. You guys kind of let it out, I'm guessing. That's good. That's very good. We, things are about to get really rough. Doesn't matter what we do now.
What do you mean by that?
Everything back home on the. And she'll kind of just gesture towards the park. There's going to be no stopping it. We've
Perhaps not.
we've pledged our support. We've bound our hands, and one of the worst case scenarios about all the legislation, it's come to bear. We made a decision, and now we have to live with it.
So you're telling me that Aiden was right all along?
Kind of feels like I told you so isn't really going to do much right now. That's not going to stop anything. We're going to have to fight our brothers and sisters. Because they can't not answer this. They have to. Forget.
While I know that that's something that we definitely have to deal with, there is something a little more pressing that we should probably talk about first.
She'll bring the cigarette up to her lips and nod. Take a drag off of it. Yeah. And she'll kind of tap the right side of the swing. Sort of like patting the space next to her.
toss it down.
Been doing a lot of thinking. And all I can do. Sort of walking around the set, doing duties. And last night I stayed at Colin's camper. And kept an eye on this Get, this envoy, this scout, whatever you want to call it. She doesn't hold her liquor well. Like one drink and she was
Heard.
yeah. Like one or two drinks and she was tossing her cookies.
She nods.
I'd always considered myself a traditionalist. I always felt that the old ways held a lot of value. After that thing with my brother at the hellhole, started to realize something.
She looks to her, listening. Demeanor is very stoic.
I was clinging on to the old ways, clinging onto it because I hated him, because I wanted him to die. Because the old ways are all about treating Metis a certain way. At least one of the old ways. And that got me through a lot of not having to deal with everything with my mom.
Saoirse crosses her arms and she'll look at Dallas and she'll say, "For your sob stories, learned your lesson or not? And you're not traditional. You use tradition to hide. Brother, I'm sorry about that. But I don't have time for drawn out sob stories."
No, I guess we don't. I've I came to the realization I had to create a code and follow it. I have to stand behind something and believe in it. Otherwise, I'm an empty shell. And in doing that, I've brought a lot of discord to this pack.
Saoirse will nod. And she's thinking, okay, there we go. We're getting somewhere.
To be honest, I don't know a lot about what I'm doing. I've let go of a lot of stuff that brought me here, that kept me here. And without it, finding out who I am. And who I am just doesn't seem to mesh well anymore.
We, as your pack, are more than happy to help you figure out who that is, but give yourself to us. You have to give something back. I've been here, 6 weeks? And all I've seen from you is selfishness and combativeness instead of working together with us as your pack, as your family. You undermine your alpha. You claim tradition, but I've not seen an ounce of tradition from you.
I'm not a traditionalist.
Ways. And in the old ways, superiors tell you. You have a right to question, of course, but it can be done tactfully, which you have none of. So I'm gonna tell you this, Dallas. If you wish to remain in the pack, to us that you've taken, you need to perform a rite of contrition to your alpha. Sincerely mean your apology, and you need to do right by us from here on out. And I'm saying this as the beta of this pack. Show that we mean something to you, that we're your family, because you've not been showing that to us.
Yeah, no.
So fix it, Dallas. And Aiden is not your enemy. Stop treating him like he is. That he's going through a lot. He's lost a lot. Trying to kick him.
That's kind of what I've been thinking about. Only thing I've done since I've gotten into this pack is hurt him. And I don't know where I fit in anymore. I am who I am. And if I keep going down this road, hatred's going to build. Resentment. And after a while, it'll be like juxtaposing me with Jacob or Chloe.
So, did you really just to Jacob and Chloe? Did you really just do that?
Saying that's who I am. And she'll look over at Saoirse.
So, you're telling me that instead of trying to fix things, instead of being a better person, walk away? Then, if you don't care about anybody but yourself, if you don't pack, you're always going to be a lone wolf. Nobody's going to be there to help you. You've got one chance here to swallow your fucking pride. Want to throw it away, that's your choice. I'm not going to stop you. But no pack is going to take you with an attitude like that. None. And the fact that I'm sitting here wanting to give you another chance speaks volumes to who I am. So if you leave, you perform contrition to Dana.
It's not the only thing I would have to bleh, I would have to perform Christian. Or it's contrition to. I just don't see a way going forward where it doesn't end with us hating each other.
How you feel, then
I don't want to be the problem anymore. You, 10 Point, Aiden, you work well together. You all are on the same page. I'm the one that's standing in the way of that. And as hard as it's going to be to stand on my own, maybe it's better. 3 of you can heal. I'm getting in the way of that. First part.
can. And we will. Move on. We wanted you to be part of that, but the same, and we definitely don't want to hate us, so.
I don't want to hold you guys back anymore. I don't want to hold Aiden back anymore. He can be a great alpha. But with me
He
there,
is.
it's just going to be a constant thorn in his side. And while I know he probably,
Because you choose to be Dallas.
yeah,
You
not
choose to
just
be a thorn in his side, rather than just. No, the thing is that you're refusing. You're refusing to compromise. You're refusing. You know what? Fine. You want to leave? I'm not going to try and talk you into staying. Is that all?
I see a way out of the situation Sep's facing. And the more I think about it, the more it probably is the best idea. It means no one has to suffer, no one has to die. Maybe Scepter the Sentinel can be better allies. I don't know. I just wanted to let you know, all of them, that where I go from here, I am grateful for everything. And I wish it could be
Just going to
different.
put a hand on Dallas's shoulder. Don't hate you. I think that you have a lot of growing to do to be a great fighter, great warrior. I really hope you are somewhere. This pack. And again, and with that she will start to walk in.
I'm gonna sit out here for a while, watch the sunset if that's alright.
She shrugs.
And she sits there as the door shuts, looks out of breath, puts her lip in between her teeth, and looks off to the west.
Saoirse walks in. Aiden and 10 Point.
Oh yeah, by the time she comes through the door, 10 Point will be looking to her. Kind of searching her expression.
It's just 3 of us now. She doesn't want to come back. Break her oath. She claims that back and that she'll always be a thorn in Aiden's side, but that's because she chooses to, not because she wants. I don't understand it, but I'm not going to beg her to stay either. She can't treat us like family. She doesn't deserve us.
10 Point will lift up and offer out a hand to her.
She takes it.
And she'll offer a very, very faint attempt at a smile. 3 is a stronger number, Raya.
It's held back emotions that like she hates losing pack mates. It's definitely not her favorite thing.
How's Aiden holding up?
Doesn't say anything to nobody. Keeps quiet, stares out the window of his room.
Is he off in his own room instead of out in the living area?
Yeah, he's off in the living area. Oh, off in his own room.
10 point will try to glance towards the doorway then, but look back to Saoirse.
She'll,
I can walk her through.
because you're the only Theurge really that can. I mean, unless she decides not to, that's between her and Dana, and I'm sure she wouldn't like the wrath of Dana.
I can guide her through contritions to Dana, Raya, but only Aiden can release her from her vows. We'll have to talk to him, Raya. But this much I can do. In the
She'll
end,
go
it
to.
is better she is honest. With us and with herself.
She nods. Aye. She'll go knock on the door. Aiden's. Then.
Wait, what's happening? I guess Lindsay.
Yeah, you cut out Lindsay.
Yeah, I was like, what?
We got a couple
she,
syllables.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
So she went to knock on the door to the room that Aiden's in.
Oh yeah, he'll go and open it.
Okay.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Looks to Aiden. Fairly stoic. Emotions.
Yeah.
Dallas wants to leave the pack.
Right. Give a reason?
Realized that and no problem anymore. So she'd rather be on her own than try and fix it.
Okay. That's her decision then?
She nods. I
Look over at 10 point.
She's
Cut out
gathered
for
herself
me.
up. Oh, he looked over at 10 point. And she's
Okay.
gathering herself up off the couch. But hasn't gone for the door yet. She's kind of, she's clearly got her head turned towards his bedroom, listening.
Yeah, he'll just kind of walk out following Saoirse out towards 10 point.
walk.
And she'll bow her head as he comes out. I can lead her through contrition, Raya, but only you can release her from the vows she's given you.
Ah. Okay. And crack his neck. Okay. Let's go then.
Are we preparing to step across, I assume? As opposed to taking this outside?
Yeah, it's kind of whichever you guys want to do. It's just like, you kind of looking at the theory, it's like, you know more of this than I do.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And
Saoirse's gonna follow 10 points lead at this point.
so yeah, 10 point will offer a thread of thought over to Dallas. If you're ready, Raya, I'll pull us across.
Probably shouldn't be out on the front porch when we do that, though.
And she'll as in responses, it's probably a direct line. We'll turn a glance to Saoirse. You may want to let her in, at least long enough that it is not noticed that she disappears from the front porch. Raya. And either one of them can do it, honestly. She's just not going to open the door without permission. And you're muted, Lindsay, if you're answering. Did my sound die?
No.
Nope, she's muted.
Okay,
She might be having technical difficulties.
that's very possible. I mean, she'll look to
Try
Aiden,
again?
too. If he gives permission, she will let her through the door so
Yeah,
that they
I
can
mean,
cross.
it's kind of whatever is easier at this stage.
Oh,
Just-
Honestly, like, out of character, I would
Yeah.
actually like to have that one-on-one with Aiden.
Ooh. Okay. Yeah, no, it's kind of, I don't know what the thing is. So yeah, if you want to have the one Aiden, I'm cool with that.
Yeah. I think it'd be
I mean,
important for everything.
we can always have the two of us step across and the other two follow when she's had a second, like have her come in and have her actually resist the pull across and ask Aiden to do the same so that she can talk to him for a moment.
Sure. Yeah, works for me.
So if that works for everyone, yeah, 10 point will, once she's sure that, everyone understands that it's for the veil, we'll go and open the door and invite Dallas in. Close it behind her.
Yeah, Dallas, as she walks in, is just in the process of rolling a cigarette. And as she steps in, she'll look up at Aiden. We talk, you and I?
Sure. Like, I mean, like that 10 point just feels him just resist. And he just stands where he is, stoic.
Yep. So 10 point will cross and pull Saoirse. And I'll finally set this thing up. Because I should have done it in the get-go, but I didn't.
Don't get stuck, whatever you do. Dallas looks over at Aiden, holds up the rolled cigarette. Fresh. Oh, we got a batch of tobacco in. I think he was only meaning to use it to roll joints with, but they make really good cigarettes on their own. She'll hand it over to him if he takes it.
He stands there, hands in his pockets.
It was just a thought. And
You want to leave this family in you, and you want to smile and offer me a cigarette.
Aiden, you've known me long enough, and you've been in my head since the end of the Hellhole War. You know, I've been troubled.
All I see is someone who's afraid to commit to their responsibilities. Alice, that is it. It's what I see. Don't pretend like this is something to do with your brother. Don't pretend. This is because you couldn't stomach me telling you what to do as your alpha. Because you couldn't handle saying Raya. Don't pretend to me. You can pretend to Saoirse all you like. But don't pretend to me. I'm not stupid.
I don't think you'd believe me if I said I wasn't. And it's a moot point trying to argue it, but
All I know is I'd go to hell and back for you, if you'd asked me. And you can't even swallow your pride and admit when you were wrong. That's all I know, Dallas.
you're probably right.
I'm going to give you something, and I want you to remember this for when you grow up. Okay? He'll walk over, cold and calm, extend his hand, and bam, straight across the face.
Yeah, I'll roll, just because it's not what she was expecting. But yeah, she'll spend a willpower point. It's still a gibbous moon, right?
You'd have to have 6 successes with the willpower spend.
Yeah. Yeah, either way. There's definitely a flash of anger. I mean, anybody slapping you in the face is certainly gonna.
Oh, it's an absolute just. It's lightning fast. Remember that shame. And remember what you broke because you couldn't swallow your pride.
You're gonna hate me. And I thought when this came, I'd be tore up about it. It's one of the few things I've been at peace with, just because I know you're going to do better off.
You want to self-pity yourself, go ahead. I don't hate you. In fact,
I'm not,
I don't.
Aiden.
Yeah, you are.
No, please. Just listen to me.
I've done enough listening to you. I've listened. So, whatever conscious decision you want to make, that's fine. You want to leave this family, you don't want to work it out, that's fine. But don't take me for a fool. Now, are we done? On Rye. You say that shaking, not with rage or sadness, but he'll say it.
She takes a deep breath in. One day I hope you can see why.
I already do. I don't want to hear any of these excuses. And one day I hope that you don't come to me with excuses. Now, if that's all, I have to take care of my pack. He'll turn cold as ice, to go and step sideways.
Dallas goes to start.
Yeah, I barely go over.
Yeah. Well, what's the worst that could happen? We're what, difficulty 6?
I'm not even sure, but just roll it. You've got a 10 in there. You're fine.
Doesn't have to sit there and play solitaire for an hour.
Nah. No. You both just take like 5 minutes to come across, which is fine. It gives it 10-point time to set up. And to bespeak Dana, who is always with them and so ever present. And let me check really fast. Oh, damn it. Helps if I can type properly. Do the intermission song for a second. And I guess that I will just, when we get the answer, we will figure it out then. But for the moment, 10 Point will very solemnly bespeak Dana, explain that one of her children is departing, and will lead Dallas through the rite of contrition, which is essentially an all-out pleading for forgiveness. Generally, one does such things as like going to their knees, crawling on the ground, and generally it's a very demeaning rite, but it is there for particularly this reason. So let me double check what my role is.
So quick question: what happens when you botch a rite of contrition?
Nothing good.
Nothing good at all. Oh no, it's bad.
It's very bad.
It's
Yeah.
very, very bad.
It's
She will be making it an extensive effort for her. Difficulty equals the
target's rage, I think.
Well, it's the rage of the spirit or the werewolf. Thankfully, Dana is very low rage. She's rage 1, so minimum is 3.
Don't botch.
Single success is a gracious apology. More success is the greater the wrong that can be forgiven. All right. So yeah, essentially, Dallas will be. There's 10 Points obviously not taking any particular pleasure in it. She just very, very matter of factly will guide her through. Going to her knees, apologizing, sliding forward on her belly, apologizing. Just it is the most sincere and outrageous form of apology known to man. And for Accord, I believe it's charisma rituals, which for me is not as much as I'd like, but is a good bit. And I will, in fact, bless Dallas's little heart, spend a willpower on it to make sure it goes off.
Oh, bless.
So I will tag it as such. So with the willpower, that is 4 successes. She performs a very successful, very gracious rite of contrition and should be able to depart without any harsh feelings. It will just be a gracious departure. The pack link from her end will slide shut. And 10 Point, in the wake of it, will turn to Dana and thank her graciously for her appearance and her patience. After which, and again, 10 Point isn't taking any particular pleasure in it. She'll do the respectful backward tip of head in essentially in farewell after having completed it. And we'll, tend the spirit. And very possibly, promptly afterwards, we'll pull the rest across so that she can make an offering to Dana's shrine to further extend the thanks for her patronage. So let me see if I can even get across myself, much less pull anyone. To do. Though actually, all things considered, would you like Dallas to try to go first, just in case?
You get out of my head. Nope.
I mean, you go bonk,
Mm-hmm.
which is sobering, but not the end of the world.
It's never been Dallas's strong suit, getting across the gauntlet in the history of ever. But it's okay because she comes fully equipped with a deck of cards now.
So there will be an apologetic glance to Dallas, because there's nothing she can do for her at this point. And honestly, Dallas's belongings are fairly safe on the porch.
Most of her belongings were already put in a bag anyway. So
Oh, there you go.
yeah,
So, yeah.
those are resting over at Collins. The bag is her swag.
Yep. So she will ask Dallas before she departs if there's anything else that she has left at the house that she would like brought back to her.
Dallas just looks at 10 Point and she kind of considers it, and the only thing that she really has there are things that, toiletries, that sort of thing, kind of stuff that just
Easily replaced.
easily replaced, and honestly can go away or go towards the stuff you put in the guest bathroom or whatever. So yeah, she just stands up and she puts her magpie swag back on, sort of brushes off the flecks of um, stray strands of spiderweb and whatever else is on the umbral ground. And she looks at 10 Point, and unless Aiden or Saoirse or 10 Point try and stop her, she'll just hug 10 Point. And she just whispers into 10 Point's ear, "Thank you for everything."
She gets a very faint smile in reply, and 10 Point will return the hug. They have been sisters, so while she could have hoped for better, this could have certainly gone worse. I hope that you find your place, Raya. Good luck. And with that, we'll look across the gauntlet, carrying the other two with her.
And they're alone with the shrine. Dallas looks at it, and she takes the blue scarf off, looks at it, and folds it neatly, and sets it in front of the shrine, being one of the few things from home that she brought. She bids that part of who she was farewell, And though she can't speak to the spirits, she can offer a bow. And she'll make her way out to the she'll make her way out to like an alleyway, and she'll take her time to get across when the hour strikes, but she doesn't feel it's appropriate to pop back out inside the cabin an hour later, not on the circumstances that they're in. And yeah, I think that's a fine point to end our scene. So thank you, players, for playing, and thank you, watchers, for watching.